One problem for students is the need to buy textbook for all their courses each semester. Students at FSU need to spend hundreds of dollars per semester on those textbooks, but after only one semester, many of them will be left on the bookshelf. If there was a way for a student to trade their old textbooks for their old courses and get used textbooks for their new courses, it would help students out. This web application is implemented to solve those problems for FSU students. This web application will allow FSU students to easily trade used textbooks among themselves. Trading textbooks is much more economic for students than to have to buy new ones all the time. Students are allowed to buy the required textbooks using this web application at a lower price than elsewhere. This web application will help students save money and reuse resources, which is also good for the environment.
So far, the current state of our web application is still in developing and testing stage. However, we have implemented most of our essential functionalities for our web application, such as the data system that stores the user account table and post information table. We've implemented with SQL Alchemy and SDORM and SQLite 3 as the local database storage. The two tables are connected by primary key and foreign key. We've also have the route controller app.py, which is right here, that handles the rendering of HTML and data processing from the post and get requests, basically serve as the middleman between the database and the client-side HTML. And last but not least, we have all these HTML files for the client side that mostly use CSS to make them look great and also display the data sent from app.py and sending data back to it for data processing.
So here's our homepage with our logo, the search bar, and user's profile picture, as well as the first name and last name. Since we're not logged in yet, the name section displays offline instead. We're able to navigate to other pages of this website by clicking on the links in the banner here. We can also click on the links to log in and sign up page. This recently posted books section will display 12 most recently posted books. There are only 4 here right now because we only have 4 books in the database. The footer section contains our logo and the links to contact us and a Q&A page. First of all, users have to register to our website by clicking on the sign up link. Official first name, last name, and FSU ID is required to make sure that the user is an FSU student. Here is a login page. When we enter invalid username and password, different alert messages will pop up. When we enter the correct username and password, the app will allow us to log in and redirect to the home page. Then the user's first and last name will display on the upper right corner. After we have logged in, we can either click on this link to post a book, and in the post page, we should enter the title and author of the book, in which the author will be added later, and also some other descriptions. We can also click on the book list link, which will display all the textbooks ordered by posting time by default. In the later increments, we will also add features to allow users to change the ordering alphabetically, as well as the filtering feature that can filter the books by colleges. We can also navigate to the book list page by clicking on this View All. We're able to search textbooks using keywords using the search bar. Every textbook with the keyword included will be displayed. Lastly, you can sign out using the sign out link.
Here we have our original project proposal. In our proposal, we said that we would implement a chat box, include a database, have an account system, add a function where we would let people search for textbooks that they wanted and list their textbooks, and another function that would send emails to people for reminders along with a good website design. As of right now, we've decided to postpone the chat box and the function that would send emails to people for reminders in order to work on the main functionality of the application. Also, in regards to working with servers, we've decided that we will no longer be using WT forms for validating user input because it's not compatible with Flask and it's quite difficult to implement. So instead of that, we will be using Axios, which we found to be a better API. Another change that we've made is we will be discarding the detail page that will post information about one single book. We'll be postponing that to a later time due to time constraints.
So for our next increment, we plan to keep using SQLite 3 as our database software and Flask for our server-side code. We're going to begin using AngularJS for our client-side code to resolve any rendering issues that we currently face using Flask. We're also planning on using Axios to link these both the client-side and the server-side code, and we finally plan on implementing any other features and patching any issues that we currently have in our issues tab in GitHub, which you see right now. We will also be implementing new features to our web app, such as using JavaScript to be able to use to sort textbooks alphabetically and filtering by colleges at FSU. We will also formalize the use of foreign and primary keys as a relation between the account table and the post table. And after this is implemented, we will be able to allow the users to delete their previous posts once the transaction or trade is completed. And then once the book is deleted, it will not show up on a web page. So this is what we plan on doing for our next increment.